After hours of gruelling work that went on throughout the night, we are nearing the end of the salvaging of the Sewol-ho ferry more than 1,070 days after it sank into waters off the southwestern coast of Korea. It has been no easy task considering the sheer size and weight of the ferry and the strong currents in the area. Let's get an update on the progress from our Shin Se-min, who's on the ground for us. So Se-min, give us the latest, including the weather, which is an important factor to consider here.
Right, it is a very quiet morning out here in the Paengmok-hang Harbor, the nearest point of land to the actual operation site. Now, let me tell you about the conditions in terms of the weather. It seems to be okay, but we are seeing some drizzle here at the Paengmok-hang Harbor, and the light rain and the wind that we're seeing doesn't seem to be obstructing any of the salvaging operations taking place out in the water. But we might want to keep an eye on it, as I can already feel the wind picking up. The meteorological agency says the height of the waves, currently at 20 centimeters, could rise to reach up to 1.5 meters, which is not a good sign. In terms of the progress so far, early this morning, the Oceans Ministry confirmed that the right side of the ferry was above the waterline for the first time in nearly 3 years, revealing its rusty and scratched surface. This is a monumental task, we have to understand, bringing a 145-meter long, over 6,800-ton ferry up from the seabed. Such a dangerous and complex operation can only be done when the sea is calm, with waves under 1 meter and the wind speed below 10 meters per second.
And so, Se-min, what's the timeline for the rest of the day, providing the weather and the sea conditions stay favourable? We are hoping to see, aren't we, some significant progress in the coming hours?
Definitely, we are, as if it goes as planned, that is. But the ultimate goal for the day is to bring the ferry up above the sea line, which is 13 meters above the level, by 11 a.m. Korea time, which is just an hour away from now. And we are just getting a report from the Oceans Ministry from its briefing this morning, saying that it is nearing its target range, which is 13 meters above the water level. So we are getting closer to the goal for the day. And the government has set Friday, which is tomorrow, as a deadline to complete the first stage of the salvaging operation, which is to place the ferry onto a semi-submersible ship for transport to Mokpo Newport, some 90 kilometers away from the site. Now, Friday is the last day of the March neap tide, when the gap between the high and low tides is at its minimum. If all goes as planned, the recovered ship will be placed at Mokpo Newport for search of the missing 9 bodies and for some answers as to what exactly caused the terrible disaster that is still ingrained in the minds of many Koreans here. Mark?
Well, thank you very much for that report, Se-min, and do keep us updated throughout the day. We could have some big updates during our next newscast at noon Korea time. Now, the